Welcome back. The Christmas bins are out and Christmas is in full swing around here. I actually started decorating a couple of weeks ago for a couple of reasons. The main one being that we have a 10-week-old baby and I knew that things just wouldn't get done very quickly. And so I just wanted to give myself time to enjoy the process and decorate the way I'd like to without feeling stressed. Also, the day that I started decorating, it snowed, which was so fun. It really set the mood. I feel like Thanksgiving is really late this year, and so I just was ready for Christmas. I think also having a brand new baby made it so fun, and I'm so excited for the magical memories we'll make with her. Even though she won't remember this Christmas, we definitely will. You might hear her little coos and her breathing. She is my little helper as I'm working on editing this video. She's asleep in my arms, which makes it even more special and fun to look back on and have these memories of decorating for her first Christmas. So I started off with our family room. Now, one thing I like to do whenever I add garland or have a tree that's bare is add extra foliage and greenery from different seasons. So this greenery that I added to our fireplace mantle was from our wedding actually, and something I use throughout the year for different arrangements and stuff. So I added it to the greenery. I think it just, and the garland, it just makes it look a lot more full. I also went through and made some bows and added those. And then I found these bells at Hobby Lobby. I got them 50% off, so $2.50 for the whole bundle. I tied some twine and put those at varying lengths. And then I got some golden rope and tied those on to the end, and you'll see in a second how cute it turned out. I also hung our stockings, which I still need to make one for Sage. I will get on that eventually. And I added some bows and some ornaments that I actually got at a garage sale for like 50 cents from our neighbor. And then for the base of this little tree, I added some white fluff. I had this extra batting from some craft projects, so I decided to put it down here. It'll probably be the last year I do that for a while, since by next Christmas I'm sure she'll be crawling and walking around. But this little area turned out so cozy and so fun. We actually got a TV too, so we've been watching Hallmark movies on it and just really enjoying the Christmas season. And of course our cute little helper is here with me helping decorate, and we've had fun reading Christmas stories around this cozy little area. Next, I got to work on our main level banister. Now, I kind of applied that same idea. I added some ribbon to this garland to make it look a little bit more full. And then so I added the greenery as well, so it kind of gives it some variated colors and just makes it feel fuller. I found these really pretty sprigs and flowers at Hobby Lobby and some little berries that I had gotten from the dollar store last year, and so I just added that in, and I think it just really creates a lot of variety and beauty to a simple garland, because garland, like nice garland, is actually pretty expensive. I've seen garland for like $70 to $100 or more to get the really full nice stuff. Moving on to the kitchen, I added some decor up above the shelves, and then I really wanted this window to feel like the North Pole. I just wanted this little area of our house to feel festive and fun to look at as I'm cooking or doing dishes, so I started by adding some garland. And then I had a little mishap with a fall candle that melted in the sun, so for now I'm covering it up with this sign. I do want this space to be a little hot cocoa bar as well, so I added our little hot cocoa dishes and some fun seasonal spices that we could put in our hot cocoa. I also added the little paper gingerbread houses that I made a few years ago. Then I wanted some snowflakes to go up above the kitchen sink, so I used the paper bag trick to make some big snowflakes. You start by gluing 7 paper bags together. You just put the hot glue in a T shape and make sure they're all facing down, and then you can cut different designs. If you go on Pinterest, you'll see so many tutorials and different designs that you can do to get different shapes. So I took some from Pinterest that I found and just created my own snowflakes. I do wish that rather than hot gluing the two sides together, I had used a paper clip or maybe some staples just so that they would be easy to disassemble and store. but we'll see if I can get them unglued. Then I wanted to actually make a Christmas window design, so I got some chalk markers and got to work designing these trees, and I so far have some trees and a Santa overhead, but have not quite finished this design. So stay tuned over on Instagram. I'm going to post the final product once I have finished drawing all over this window to make a little Christmas scene. I used chalk markers to make a Christmas window in our basement apartment a few years ago, and I really loved it. It was so fun and festive. I added some more flowers and greenery to the garland, as well as some ribbon and beads, and I'm really happy with how this little Christmas window turned out. I also swapped for a different sign in the window. I did the North Pole sign since I wanted this to feel like the North Pole. I actually got both those signs at a garage sale for pretty cheap, so that's always fun. I'm really happy with how this little corner turned out, and I think it'll be a fun view as I'm working on dishes or baking sweet treats this holiday season. For the kitchen table, my husband's request was that we make our centerpiece removable and easy to move around, which I thought was a great idea. So I grabbed a sign that I'm not currently using to decorate, and I just filled it with garland and some other greenery, added some candlesticks and candles to the center, then added some variated greenery into that, as well as some ribbon, kind of like the same theme and additions I've been making to garland throughout the house, so it would kind of match. I added some sprigs and some more red berries just to make it extra festive. I also added some poinsettias in different colors and some lights. These are just battery operated fairy lights that I can turn on and off when we have meals, rather than actually plugging them in so that there's no cords draping across the table. We found these little salt and pepper shakers at Cracker Barrel. We've been collecting them for 99 cents each, and they are so cute, little Mr. and Mrs. Claus. I have had some issues with these candles staying up. These are candlestick holders from the dollar store, so I'm going to have to get creative with that, trying to figure out how to get these candles to stand up straight. I added my snowflakes to the window like I did last year, and other than that crooked candle, I think this turned out pretty cute. We have a tradition of cutting down our own Christmas tree, and where we live you can get a permit. They'll give out so many permits a year, and you have to go to certain areas that need to be thinned out anyways, and you can cut down a Christmas tree. So that's what we did this year, and it was Sage's first experience. It was so fun going up in the mountains with her. We haven't finished decorating our tree. We'll add all of our special ornaments, which are in that bin next to the tree. But this is what we have for now. It was a beautiful tree and such a fun experience. If you watched any of my Christmas videos last year, you might remember that I like to use extra pine boughs and clippings from trimming our Christmas tree to create other decorations. So I used it to create this centerpiece. I added oranges, pine cones, cinnamon sticks, and some little salt dough ornaments I had made, as well as making our front door wreath. I didn't show my process for making the wreath this year because it was very similar to last year's. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. But I did add the bells to the center, kind of like I did on the fireplace, and I love how it turned out. It is so cozy and smells so delicious. Also, this wall used to be completely bare, but I recently decided I wanted an entryway table. I found one I liked for almost $300 and decided I could make that out of the extra 2x4s we had in our garage. So I completely built it with materials that we already had and stained it with stain that we already had and made this little entry table, which I feel like is a very similar style. I think sometime in the new year I will try to make a video about this whole process and how I decorated it, how I created this table and everything. But for Christmas, I swapped out the branches that were in the pot for some Christmas foliage. I added our Christmas countdown and some Charles Dickens books that I've been collecting, and it created the coziest little entryway. I love it with the wreath and the way that you can see the tree in the mirror. The lights reflecting in the mirror just brighten this space so much and help it feel so cozy. We are enjoying these Christmas decorations already so much as a family, and we want to wish your family a very Merry Christmas. If you're new here, my name is Jenneca, and I make home-centered content designed to inspire creativity and resourcefulness. things like DIY, crafting, decorating, and organization. I have some fun videos planned for the coming weeks and months, so be sure to follow along, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And thank you so much for your support. I will see you in the next video.